standing here in southwest Atlanta, right off Niskey Street Road, where the truest, sickest, most ungodly horror that ever struck the city of Atlanta 22 years ago happened. The first body was found right here on this spot. You can still smell the death in the air from 22 years ago, and they found the first corpse that started the most shocking, horrific atrocity that ever struck the city of Atlanta. That is, until now, because the Iceberg is the world heavyweight champion, and he is gonna create an atrocity exhibit that has never been seen anywhere in the world. 24 young men were found dead, and that is just gonna be a drop in the bucket for what the Iceberg is gonna bring to Atlanta. I'm talking about unbelievable, ungodly horror, week after week, as one victim after the other is brought to the ring for the Iceberg to first, oh my God, cut their head open and get them drowning in blood, and then splash them over and over until their internal organs are coming out of their mouth. Wildside fans, get ready for the most horrific bloodletting that you've ever experienced, and that is the Iceberg, your heavyweight champion. Oh, Iceberg, you know what you have to do. You know what you have to do.
Retreat! There's the 420s!
Your answers belong to me.
Wait for Simpson!
A new run every week. Beautiful Hurricane Rana from Gabriel.
And there's the unholy roller. I want to kill you. You're gonna die, Jason! Have that feel. Oh, yeah!
You're here at the nation's #1 pro wrestling alternative, offering you a heaping helping of our hospitality, for lack of a better term. NWA Wildside, thanks for joining us. Stephen Prazak along with Dan the Dragon Wilson. And last week, my friends, was the highlight reel to end all highlight reels.
Last week, fans, we viewed the second portion, or highlights thereof, of Wildside version 4.0, the Wildside 3rd anniversary show. That show, of course, can be viewed in its entirety on Wildside home video at the address at the bottom of your screen. Fans, your main event last week, TNT successfully defended the Wildside Tag Team titles against the Lost Boys with a little help and some outside interference from Future Shock, and you're going to find out a little bit more about that situation. Also on the card, you saw a loser leaves Wildside match. John Phoenix defeated All That Adam Jacobs. Huge issue there, but what happened after the match, even bigger. A mysterious man in a green cape and mask, shrouded in mystery, is his identity, but we know he has a link to John Phoenix somehow. Very interesting there. Also, Jimmy Rave successfully defended the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship against Slim J, and you saw clips from a match that was far too graphic for television, can be owned exclusively in full on home video, as the original Chosen One, Rick Michaels, did indeed defeat Rain Man in the Dark City Death Match. However, after that matchup, Rain Man got the barbed wire nuts and attacked Rick Michaels again. Next week here, fans, on NWA Wildside, we got a special treat for you. But Stephen, tell them about this week.
That's true. However, the celebration from our Wildside 3rd anniversary apparently is bleeding over into this week. Bad choice of words there, bleeding, huh? Jeff Bailey has some sort of celebration planned for this very edition of NWA Wildside, and I'm a little uncomfortable with that very thought, I don't mind telling you. Your main event, though, the Lost Boys take on Future Shock. This is what grudge matches are all about. Your main event this week on Wildside.
Last month, the National Wrestling Alliance unleashed TNA, total non-stop action. And now the saga continues with world-class superstars, including the one and only Scott Hall, former world champion Jeff Jarrett, the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, hardcore midget mayhem, and feel the heat from the TNA girls. Every Wednesday night at 8, TNA, total non-stop action. Wednesdays will never be the same. Call your local cable operator or satellite provider to order.
I'm Joey Styles. Vince McMahon and the WWF don't want you to know what I know. I have secret sources inside the WWF locker room and inside the WWF offices. I have all the news that you're not supposed to know. Plus, all the news on your favorite local wrestling promotions. Call the number on your screen now.
Can you say miscommunication?
The epitome of.
However, Jeremy V took that as an in. The quick roll up to Michael Adrian, still not enough, but here comes Jeff Lewis, all fresh and rested, and taking care of both Swingers Inc. and a meeting of the minds, like any of those two would really qualify.
That was a double headbutt club kick. And the Swingers are up. They're having a little late night snack.
I've lived through this moment before. Looks like Scott E. Smooth is not particularly anxious to get involved in the action again.
Where in the hell did they get that guy? That's what I want to know.
Maybe he'll go back.
Double underhook. Sit out pedigree
Now that's the way it's done.
by Jeff Lewis.
Referee Mike Posey chatting away with Scott E. Smooth while Michael Adrian perched up on that top turnbuckle. Oh dear.
Guillotine leg drop to the back of the head, and that's a lot of poundage coming down on the base of your skull.
Big legs, and now what? Jeff Lewis and his sad straights, and I believe tag team partner Jeremy V. Not much better.
Jeremy V counters that with a reverse DDT. Beautiful maneuver and quick thinking by the youngster Jeremy V.
Now Destiny gets involved in another pin attempt by the team of V
Could we
and
get
Lewis.
the pomp and circumstance away from ringside here? Jeez.
Destiny reminds you of pomp and or circumstance? First not stopping Vincent I. Payne.
Somersault neckbreaker from the top rope by VIP.
Oh, I get it. VIP. Very, very clever.
It took you that long to get it?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, my Lord.
Broken shins aplenty for Vincent Payne.
He's got another one. Ouch. Vincent I. Payne went shin first onto it without security railing. Jeff Lewis with a pin attempt. Apparently feels that's not exactly what he had in mind, seeing Scott E. Smooth coming around to his peripheral vision.
Reversal on the Irish whip there. Lewis ducks a clothesline. He's got it. Oh no, Scotty Smooth. Where did they get this little twit?
The man can swing a chair. Scotty Wren would be proud of that one.
I don't think Scotty Wren would be proud of anything the Swingers done. Did.
Maybe you got a point.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match, Swingers Incorporated.
Lots of miscues, lots of miscommunication, and frankly, when those opportunities arise, the opposing team needs to capitalize, and that's precisely what Swingers Inc. in all their brilliant glory and all their wise wrestling tactics, note the sarcasm, that's what they showed off here this evening, defeating the team of Jeff Lewis and Jeremy V. Dan.
Well, and it looks like Vincent I. Payne may be severely injured, and that could certainly put the future of the Swingers in question.
And happily he didn't bring it with him.
Next week, you have your shot at the Wildside Tag Team titles. Both of you have been champions before, but never together.
TNT! Next week, this man and I will face TNT for those tag team straps. But let's set the record straight. TNT is just a stepping stone for us to get to Future Shock. Because Future Shock, you guys have had a couple of fluke wins over us, and you want to call yourself somebody? Let me tell you something. When we get those straps, you will be the first in line for that shot.
That's really good news if you're a Future Shock, or is it? The last thing I'd like to have is Future Shock on my God. Oh, I'm behind Scotty Wren and Tank. It's TNT with chairs. God, chairs are not even effective. And Todd and Tony decide to bail, which is probably one of the wiser career moves you could do in this case. Mercy. The incredibly hard heads of Scotty Wren and Tank.
Hit me!
Okay, point made, taking time bomb. The last thing anybody would want to be at this moment is the team of TNT. Wildside tag team titles notwithstanding. On their case is nothing less than ticking time bomb and the sickle-wielding maniac Tank. Not good news if you're Tony Stradlin and Todd Sexton, who are presently the Wildside Tag Team Champions. More Wildside coming up right after this. I want to mess with. It's a guy named Murder One. Anybody who would jokingly refer to himself as Murder One because of his track record is somebody to be dealt with very seriously and try to avoid at every possible opportunity.
Murder One, a very controversial character here in Wildside. One of the toughest brawlers in the locker room, but look at young Derek Driver taking it to him hard. Heart and guts personified here against this street thug.
Boy, Murder One's kind of wobbly street.
I don't think Murder One was expecting this flurry of offense from Derek Driver here. I don't think he was expecting it in the least.
But Driver needs to stick with Murder One instead of hopping up to that top turnbuckle. Don't mean to rain in your parade, Mr. Driver, but ouch.
At the Wildside 3-year anniversary show, Murder One was defeated by Onyx, and he's carried that as a huge chip on his shoulder, and he says he's not done with Onyx. There's the blazing lariat by Murder One.
Turning Derek Driver literally inside out. He did a damn near 360.
And he's got him in position, and there's the Zoolander. And Derek Driver's just another chalk line. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Murder One.
I'm sure Derek Driver was hoping for a better outing than that, but against Murder One. Such a dangerous, dangerous man. And now Dan Wilson with Murder One at ringside.
Murder One, you were defeated by Onyx at the Wildside 3-year anniversary show, but to my understanding, this issue is not complete. Oh, hell no, it's not complete. Let me tell you something, Onyx. You might have beat me, but you didn't kill me. One thing is, I'm a certified basket case, and you better have eyes in the back of your black-ass skull, because you'll never know when I'll be looking for you.
Now, I have no idea if the team of Total Destruction is anywhere near, but last time we saw them, they were on their backs here at the floor of the NWA arena. Blood just absolutely gushing out of their foreheads. Rusty Riddle and Sean Royal don't seem to be anywhere around here this week, but you could never count down Total Destruction. Total Destruction, who are a pretty mean team anyway. I can't imagine being any meaner than they are at this very moment.
The Dobbins brothers left Total Destruction lying in 2 consecutive pools of their own blood, and there's not another tag team, not the Cole brothers, not anyone else that can lay claim to that.
The team of the Dobbins brothers are such a mean and ornery team. Actually, they don't even have a job waiting for them when they started off at Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling with our friends over there, Dusty Rhodes and crew. They don't want them there because they're just too mean. They've really destroyed everybody. The hospital bills have been nothing but outrageous.
Well, the Dobbins brothers, there's also quite a bit of mystery still shrouding their arrival here in Wildside. Because the first night they were here, they bought tickets and they sat in the front row. The second time they were here, they came from the back, which means someone from within has brought these Dobbins boys here to hurt Total Destruction. And who is that someone?
In all honesty, Total Destruction have not made a lot of friends in the locker room here at Wildside. That's Chad Dobbins in the ring, just pretty much dismantling Zero. Can you actually be less than 0?
You could be -1.
That's less than 0. Mathematics 101 with your friend Dan the Dragon Wilson.
And I failed math.
Oh, I could never guess.
Hard back suplex by Chad Dobbins. Big, nasty hombres are these two fellas.
Looks like the Dobbins boys are having no problem whatsoever with 0 and the returning Scott Cage.
Up in the air and down hard. And 0 is exactly that. Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match, the Dobbins boys.
Complete and utter brute force, and they've got it in spades. Chad and Jason Dobbins, the Dobbins brothers, apparently on a collision course, nothing less than total destruction. If there's any more hatred between those two teams, I dare say a stay in the hospital is not out of the question. And I believe the local authorities here in the Cornelia, Georgia area have been alerted.
Impressive offensive showing by the Dobbins. But their offensive showings against total destruction have come from 2 sneak attacks. What will it be when they meet face to face?
Celebrations coming up, courtesy of Jeff Bailey, next year in Wildside.
Last month, the National Wrestling Alliance unleashed TNA, total non-stop action. And now the saga continues with world-class superstars, including the one and only Scott Hall, former world champion Jeff Jarrett, the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, hardcore midget mayhem, and feel the heat from the TNA girls. Every Wednesday night at 8, TNA, total non-stop action. Wednesdays will never be the same. Call your local cable operator or satellite provider to order.
I'm Joey Styles. Vince McMahon and the WWF don't want you to know what I know. I have secret sources inside the WWF locker room and inside the WWF offices. I have all the news that you're not supposed to know. Plus, all the news on your favorite local wrestling promotions. Call the number on your screen now.
The smiling Jeff G. Bailey along with John Phoenix, Rain Man, as well as the new Wildside heavyweight champion. And they don't get any heavier than Iceberg. And then Andrew Thomas shucking and driving. Either that or he hasn't changed his underwear in a week. Boy, Jeff Bailey's all excited. Brought a cake out here. Apparently just beside himself with glee over Iceberg finally defeating David Young to become the new Wildside heavyweight champion. I guess that's also in honor of Wildside's 3rd year anniversary. And here's Jeff Bailey to fill us in on all the festivities.
Shut the hell up while I'm talking, you morons.
What a happy guy.
Now, this is the official celebration of Wildside's 3rd year anniversary. 3 years of being the greatest wrestling television program, anchored by the NWA Elite and, of course, Wildside senior official Andrew Thomas. And since you people have no damn respect, and if this microphone doesn't start working, I'm going to come down there and plant it in your ass, so get it working, moron. Now, last time we had far too busy of an evening to do the official celebration, and what a night it was. First, John Phoenix sent Adam Jacobs packing, and not just that, but you heard him too. What a glorious moment that was. And then Rain Man got Rick Michaels and busted his head open like an overripe melon, stuck his face in a flaming chair, and he was left for dead and carried out on a stretcher. You know, he didn't bleed to death, Rain Man, but next week we get the opportunity to do it one more time. And then, oh my God, for 3 years I have waited to have the perfect heavyweight champion, a man that is truly unbeatable. Not just the unbelievable being of horror, but the world heavyweight champion Iceberg. And Iceberg, in honor of that, I have gotten you a brand new heavyweight title.
No, a new title?
It's beautiful, and it's just for you, Iceberg.
Damn, it's beautiful.
Oh, yes.
And going around that waist? Jeez.
We're going to celebrate by having this beautiful cake, and everybody get one of these. So even though all these ungrateful idiots out here who are truly unappreciative of our great talent and what we present to them every week, we're going to allow them to celebrate with us.
How gracious of Jeff G. Bailey. Ooh, pyrotechnics. There goes the budget. Jeff Bailey, can't believe I'm watching. He's slicing up a cake in honor of the NWA Elite's accomplishments, as well as the 3rd year anniversary of Wildside. Jeff Bailey serving cake. My God. Could you have ever imagined seeing this on national television?
And they're getting individual pieces. Iceberg needs about 4 more.
Well, I'm trying to find out what kind of cake this is. Have we been given any tips as to the quality?
And Andrew Thomas proving that he's all but a card-carrying member of the NWA Elite, as if we didn't know that and haven't known it for the last year, but nevertheless.
Oh, boy, well, this is great. We're using up valuable TV time to watch the NWA Elite eat cake. Just damn. Just damn.
3 steps forward, 2 steps back.
That's part of our charm. Whoa! Something else is going on here, too. The lights are out. And happily, somebody with a photo flash. I couldn't make out any of the people in the ring. Oh, good heavens! Jeff Bailey with a face full of cake. And the green cape. We saw that very same green cape just a couple of weeks ago. Oh, man.
The same mysterious green man that attacked John Phoenix.
I'm telling you now, where is that green son of a bitch? Green guy! Where is he now? I'm telling you now, next week, you better show your face out here. John Phoenix, green guy. Oh my God, you are gonna die.
Jeff Bailey is furious. John Phoenix is furious too. The green man. And there are all kinds of theories as to who this is. Oh, Iceberg seems to be enjoying the slice of cake. All right, 4 slices of cake. Boy, Jeff Bailey, look at that. Man, it reminds me of Tatanka.
Well, this mysterious green masked individual has gotten the goat of Jeff G. Bailey again for the 2nd consecutive week. Who is this mysterious challenger? And what does he have to do with the past of Jeff G. Bailey or John Phoenix? A lot of speculation as to who this individual is. Several names have popped up. I'm not going to mention any of them. I'm going to leave it to your imagination at home, fans. Who is this mysterious green masked individual, Steven?
I have no clue whatsoever. Undoubtedly, the matchmaking committee here at Wildside will be preparing together Stone Mountain and the new Wildside champ Iceberg, perhaps as soon as Fright Night, scheduled for November 1st and 2nd here at the NWA Arena, Cornelia, Georgia.
Stone Mountain and Mr. Delicious. If there ever was a mismatch, oh, if there ever was a mismatch.
Looks like Mr. Delicious, who's trying to put his foot in the water here and pointing his finger at Stone Mountain. Mr. Delicious, JC North, was 25. Great. You know, seeing Mr. Delicious reminds me I need to go pick up some more roll-on anti-perspirant when I come back home. Remind me later, will you?
Mr. Delicious trying his best. And his best just simply isn't good enough.
Good enough for NWA Virginia. Not nearly good enough. Good heavens. Thunderous fist to the bald noggin of Mr. D. In from the piggy. Oh, good night, Nurse.
Mr. Delicious, gorilla press to the outside. And I think we've seen the last of him.
We're about to see the last of Kevin Harden. Attempting some forearm shots to that massive back of Stone Mountain.
It was Stone Mountain that called out the Iceberg following his championship victory over David Young at the Wildside 3-year anniversary show. And I don't know if the Wildside ring can hold that much damn mass. There's the landslide by Stone Mountain.
Mercy, oh, wait a second, the cameras are picking it up, but Iceberg is making his way to the ringside area with newly won Wildside title in hand. I think Iceberg wants Stone Mountain. He wants him now. Don't think that's a good idea. This building can't hold this match here this evening at all. Stone Mountain and Iceberg. That
two monsters,
the
Stephen.
sea of humanity you see before you at this moment. Can two human beings actually be that large? We're seeing the proof of the pudding right there. Referees,
can you possibly imagine the impact of the, what?
Wait a second, Stone Mountain just got counted out.
Ladies and gentlemen, according to Wildside senior official Andrew Thomas, Stone Mountain has been counted out of the ring. The winners of the match, the team of Kevin Harden and Mr. Delicious.
Well, it's a win, and Mr. Delicious would be rather happy about that.
Stone Mountain isn't. And
Correct.
Mr. Delicious is getting the hell out of Dodge. Can't say the same for Kevin Harden.
Kevin Harden right now can't even spell Dodge.
Stone Mountain, irate.
And the crowd wants yet another landslide on the hapless Kevin Harden. There's nothing left of the guy. And soon to be even less. Stone Mountain, dangerous man. Iceberg in his cross. Nice. The Lost Boys don't pretty much care for anybody.
And they've made that very, very clear in their tenure here in Wildside while remaining huge fan favorites.
One of life's many mysteries, the age of the anti-hero, I suspect.
The Lost Boys had a year-long feud with TNT that in various points, including the final points, involved the Wildside Tag Team Championship. At the culmination of that feud, in the main event of the Wildside 3-year anniversary show, it was Future Shock that stuck their nose in the business of the Lost Boys, costing them perhaps their final title shot for some time in a long time.
And it's all these unresolved issues that continue on unabated this week on Wildside. I mean, the Future Shock were actually incremental, as well as the team of TNT, in taking out the leg of Gabriel. I'm taking out the neck of Gabriel and the leg of Azrael. These are two wounded men. And apparently, I think Andrew Thomas is a little bit concerned over their welfare, which is the first in my book.
I think he's just trying to get the legal man in the ring, which is something he's had a problem with involving the Lost Boys on many, many occasions. Jay Free is going to be starting this tag team matchup out against Azrael. And if you're a fan of traditionalistic wrestling, then you might as well turn the channel, because this match is going to be anything but traditional. Shoulder tackle, down goes Jay Freeze, up and over goes Azrael. Leapfrog by Freeze, Azrael behind him, boot to the midsection, Irish whip, forearm shot and hard by the Angel of Death. Freeze comes in with a vicious forearm shot of his own. Azrael trades another. Freeze with a chop and another chop. Chop exchanges by both men.
Completely breaking down here at the NWA Arena. Azrael and Jay Freeze. Not exactly exchanging words of love at the moment.
Good grief! It is getting ugly, fans. It is getting ugly. Spear by Azrael, and they're tangling it up. They are tangling it up. Andrew Thomas can't separate these men. These two are beating the hell out of each other, and the Lost Boys have a perfect issue for that beating. They cost Future Shock, that is, cost the Lost Boys their Wildside Tag Team titles against TNT, and perhaps the last title shot they're going to get in a long time. Kick to the face punch by Gabriel. Another kick to the face by Azrael. Springboard leg lariat while making the tag to Gabriel. Gabriel cooks the leg. 2 count only.
This is the textbook definition of grudge match. The hostility between these two tag teams is just getting completely out of control. Something may be resolved here tonight, but I wouldn't count on it.
Top wrist lock by Gabriel. However, a handful of hair changes the tide of that maneuver. Irish whip to the far corner, reversal. Gabriel up and over, scales the top rope, lands on his feet. Jay Freeze ducks. Freeze lands on the apron. Azrael goes for a swing. Gabriel goes for another swing. Freeze ducks. Super kick sending Jay Freeze into the guardrail.
Face first into the guardrail.
And the Archangel is going to fly. Slingshot Tupe con Hilo to the outside. Straight to hell.
That's precisely where Jay Freeze feels like he is at the moment. A flying Gabriel. Head first into the prone body of Jay Freeze.
And the Angel of Death in his size. Going to try to fly to the outside as well. Brandon P cuts him off. Azrael coming off the ropes. It's Brandon P up and over. Brandon P gets enough mind about himself to catch himself on the apron here. And now, Gabriel with a knee, Azrael with a knee to the face. The Angel of Death coming off. Springboard clothesline by Brandon P. Jay Freeze and Gabriel brawling on the outside. Irish whip into the guardrail, and Gabriel bounces off of it like a ball off a wall.
Future Shock and Lost Boys mixing it up in no uncertain terms here this week as your main event this week on NWA Wildside. Thank you for joining us. Dan the Dragon Wilson along with Stephen Prazak just explaining and trying to make heads or tails out of this, the violence you're witnessing at this very moment.
Jay Freeze choking out Azrael in the corner. Andrew Thomas laying the mandatory 5 count. Big chop. Trying to channel the spirits of fellow North Carolina native. We all know who that is.
Jesse Helms?
That's it. Elbow by Jay Freeze. Lateral press. Arrogant and nonchalant cover, mind you. Jay Freeze did not bother to hook the leg. And when dealing with a competitor with a fiery nature of the Angel of Death Azrael, hooking the leg is probably a good idea.
One would think. But obviously when you're Future Shock, you've got a lot of physical damage, a lot of GBH in mind for the team of the Lost Boys. Winning a match would be nice, but frankly, it's secondary.
We can't talk about GHB on the air.
How about GBH?
Okay.
Okay. GHB? Oh, I get it. Man, I'm thick.
See, that one took you a while. Brandon P. assaulting, continuing the assault on Azrael. Big drop kick, right on the money. And Azrael's in a lot of pain right now. But
Yep.
Future Shock have made no bones about it. They're tired of being disrespected, and whether or not they were disrespected, you're walking a thin line on that issue.
Well, frankly, it can be perceived as disrespect. So, I mean, the locker room at Wildside is cutthroat. It is the most competitive locker room in North America today.
Look at Azrael firing back on Jay Freeze. Jay Freeze with a rake of the eye. And as you know, that'll stop any man. Stomp to the head.
Jay Freeze trying to pull out the hair of Azrael, the Angel of Death.
Back into Brandon P. Not Brandon K.
Thank you. I'd never hear enough of that.
Irish whip. Blocks the hip toss. Chop by Azrael. Going for a backslide, but Brandon P fighting that. Turns it into an Irish whip. Blind tag by Gabriel. Kick to the midsection. Lost Boys double teaming. And there's the time warp on Brandon P.
No idea what era Brandon P is in at the moment after a time warp. Jay Freeze in the break up the pin attempt. And Jay Freeze turns his back on Gabriel. Bad move.
And another rake to the eye by Brandon P. Future Shock resorting to these tactics time and time again. They made it clear they don't care about the rules. And neither do the Lost Boys for that matter. Big knee lift and crisp and beautiful execution, mind you. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Jay Freeze, but as a wrestler, you cannot deny his ability.
The guy's got the goods, and literally he shows it week in and week out. He's just a head case. And Brandon P not too far behind. Choking the life out of Gabriel top turnbuckle.
While aggressive, Future Shock are taking a methodical assault on this offense here on the Lost Boys.
Which precisely what they should be doing, because nothing that the Lost Boys do is especially methodical. You're taking them away from their own game. If you're going to be resorting to a little bit more aerial tactics and more violent tactics, well, that's right up the Lost Boys' alley. Go to Plan C, and that's precisely what Future Shock are doing here this week.
Azrael trying to get in the ring to save his partner from the hands of this horrific beating that Future Shock is giving him. High leg lariat by Brandon Pete.
And Azrael reaching out for a tag, unfortunately in the wrong corner. The tagging hands of Azrael, oh so far away.
Tag made into Jay Freeze. Rolling slingshot senton leg drop combination by Future Shock. Again, the arrogance is going to get the best of these guys if they don't pull their heads out of their asses and concentrate on the match. The Lost Boys are not a team to be dealing with in that manner. And it's continually frustrating to see Future Shock do this.
Well, look at their track record. Future Shock have never had a better success rate in their entire career as they've had over the past few months here at Wildside.
And we cannot forget about the team that wants at Future Shock more than anybody, Scottie Wren and Tank. Future Shock they defeated Scottie Wren and Tank on 2 straight occasions, albeit by fluke victories. A win over those two is a win over those two. And Scottie Wren and Tank are not happy, especially about the cheap nature that those victories came about.
And precisely the 2 guys you don't want mad at you, 2 guys you don't want on your case. Oh, God. Brandon P. and now Gabriel. Oh, dear, mixing it up. Boy, Brandon P. is just uncorking some major haymakers on the face and the chest of Gabriel.
Leg drop by Jay Freeze. 2 count only. Gabriel still has it in him to kick out. And again, I have to question the cocky tactics of Future Shock. Had Jay Freeze hit the leg, would have Gabriel been able to kick out? We'll never know.
That's it's all conjecture. And interestingly, Future Shock are going after the neck on occasion of Gabriel. That was the part of the body that Gabriel has had to deal with the most amount of injury in the past few months. It is a very sensitive neck indeed.
Up and over goes Brandon P. He catches Gabriel. Oh, good grief. Head and arm suplex.
And Gabriel very nearly landed on his own head in the process. Gabriel, once again, much to the amazement of the fans here at the NWA Arena, totally perplexed at the firepower and the resilience of one Gabriel, one half of the Lost Boys.
Big clothesline by Brandon P. Brandon P tries to drop kick Azrael off the apron. That just lit the fire of the Angel of Death.
Like there isn't enough fire there in the first place?
I suppose it further ignited it.
There we go. The fires of hell is what it is. I'm sorry, that's your line.
Fires are hell.
How'd I do?
Don't quit your day job.
Thank you.
Gabriel hooked the leg, almost got a pinfall there, but Jay Freeze stopped that and quickly with a clothesline.
Thunderous kick from Azrael. Oh, my.
I cannot possibly describe to you, the viewers at home, how hard he just kicked that man.
It happened so quickly, I'm not even sure what part of the body he hit. Was it the head? Lightning fast. But can Gabriel make that tag? He's only a few feet away from the tagging hands of the Angel of Death. Tag is made. Once again, referee Andrew Thomas did not see the tag being made. It's an old trick. And Future Shock know those tricks very well.
And with the previous tactics of Future Shock, they probably know the old slip Andrew Thomas at 20 and he'll turn his back trick.
All it takes is a 20. Brandon P attempting a pin attempt on Gabriel. Once again, Gabriel gets a right shoulder up. Gabriel is one durable cookie, I'll tell you.
Gabriel fighting back, but just not enough left in him. And he had better get to the corner to tag Azrael if he has any hope of winning this matchup.
But that's the last thing Future Shock want. They're keeping Gabriel far away from his own tag team corner.
I have to say I'm very impressed with the tag team methods of Future Shock. While not within the boundaries of the rules, they're effective, cutting the ring in half, shades of the Anderson brothers. Just consummate and dominant tag team wrestling. They've incapacitated Gabriel to a level in which he's never been incapacitated before.
Jay Freeze heading up to the top turnbuckle, going up there very slowly. Beautiful moonsault. Pity there was no one there to meet him on the way down.
One moonsault is not a standard maneuver in the offensive barrage of Jay Freeze.
It sure isn't anymore.
And Gabriel takes out the knee in the process, and he is very close to tagging in a poppin' hot, very fresh Angel of Death known as Azrael.
And Azrael very slowly making his way over.
He's itches, Gabriel's itches, and he makes a tag. The Angel of Death is swooping down upon his prey. He's got him. He's got it. Death Valley Driver into a powerbomb by Azrael.
And Jay Freeze and Azrael mix it up. Oh, thunderous kick to the knee. Oy!
To the back of the head, and another consecutive kick to the back of the head. And if that did not jar the cerebral cortex loose of Jay Freeze, I would be a surprised individual.
Wonder if there's some pro football teams who are looking at Azrael put one through the goalpost.
It looked like the Lost Boys. Now on the attack of Jay Freeze here. Going for the time warp once again. Going for the head sandwich. But wait a minute. Bring the people the rope down. And Future Shock with a double team maneuver there. But Gabriel manages to kick out. Somehow, this young man found it within him. Maybe it was from the fires of hell. Maybe from his own heart. But it kicked out.
Gabriel showing what kind of stuff he's made out of. And a foot to the face of a charging Brandon P.
Jay Freeze has it. And oh no. This is the setup, the prelude to Future Shock's double team finishing maneuver, the aftershock. Gabriel manages to scale himself up. And Azrael crunches Jay Freeze. Brandon P has no idea what's going on.
He does now.
He certainly does.
Unfortunately, this hold can only stick with it for a 5 count before it must be broken, although rules are not particularly high in the priorities of either the Lost Boys or Future Shock at this moment.
Azrael on the top rope, Gabriel throwing punches that simply lack authority because he's taken so much of a beating. They were going for the unholy roller. Azrael sit off the top by Jay Freeze. And wait a minute, now Brandon P's got Gabriel. Baseball slide to the face.
Last time it worked.
There's the aftershock from the top rope. And Future Shock win this one. Tremendous matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, Brandon P. and Jay Freeze. Future Shock.
The winning ways of Future Shock, much to the surprise of many here at the NWA Arena, continue on once again this week, defeating former Wildside Tag Team Champs, the Lost Boys, and actually one of the most unbeatable tag teams in recent memory in any wrestling organization. That's the Lost Boys, but Future Shock once again pulled it off.
Well, fans, depending on who your favorite is in that matchup, the outcome may have been a disappointment. But the action in the ring certainly was not. Tremendous tag team action and a big win, and I mean a big win, for Future.